now listening to The Mark and Harry Show.
What's up?
How's it going, Harrison Gross?
How's it going, Mark Rubenstein? It's going well with me.
It is going very well with me. Welcome to the Mark and Harry Show, the inaugural episode. This is the beginning. Oh, thank you, ladies.
Hey,
ladies,
shut
ladies.
up, guys. Hey, let him talk. Let the man talk.
Ladies. Yeah, very rude, ladies. Welcome to the inaugural episode. This is the beginning of a big shift in history because it's the beginning of the Mark and Harry Show.
Yes, we have a lot to talk about. I'm really excited about this new show. Going to be able to speak our minds, talk about what's up in our own lives, what's up in the world. It's going to be great.
It's going to be very great. So before we get started on the meat of the podcast, I think it's good for us to talk about not only our individual history, but our history together, because we have a pretty rich 5-year history. When we met, 5 years ago?
I think it's maybe over 5 years ago now. It's
5.5 years ago now?
Yes, or maybe it's 6 because it's been 2 years since college. So
we met in the fall of 2008.
Yeah,
so about 5.5 years ago.
Yeah.
Harrison and we were roommates freshman year in college, totally random. We didn't pick each other. We didn't know each other. And the rest sort of fell into place. We joined the same fraternity. We lived together in our disgusting fraternity house.
Same house as Harold Ramis.
I'm sorry?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, same house as Harold Ramis.
Harold Ramis, the co-writer of Animal House. And although we say that our fraternity inspired Animal House, it was really based on the Dartmouth experience.
And he doesn't really care about our fraternity anyway, Harold Ramis. We saw that speech and he gave us that quick shout out, but
yeah, and why should he?
Yeah.
And we then lived together for the next 2 years,
and we got a cat
it all
together.
really fell into place.
Yeah, it all fell into place. 4 years, all because of a random assignment. We filled out some questions, and yeah, the rest is history. So,
and, I mean, I think about this all the time, that if, some person behind a desk had some different inkling, made a different thought, how college would have been completely different.
Yeah, exactly. That would have, we'd be in a different fraternity, maybe wouldn't join a fraternity at all. I was definitely turned off to the idea of joining a fraternity.
As was I. I mean, I think a third of our freshman floor joined the same fraternity. So if we weren't on that floor, we could have easily joined a different fraternity, had different friends, maybe had different jobs now, or different situations now. Everything would have been different, for better or for worse.
Altered the trajectory, for sure.
Oh, very different. So let's go a little bit into our background. Harrison is currently in his second year of law school. Do you want to talk about that?
Yes, I am in my second year of law school. I am studying the law as we speak. Basically, I'm not sure exactly what kind of field of law I want to go into. I still have an extra year and a half left, but it's a good time. The first year was pretty miserable, as is the stereotype. First year they work you, or they scare you to death. Second year they work you to death. The third year they bore you to death. That is the saying.
How seriously do you take all the reading? Because that was my worst
question.
thing, is I always hated reading, especially shit that I didn't care about. And I mean, I would get to the point where I'd skim for 3 or 4 pages until I realized that I wasn't retaining any information. I mean, have you gotten really good at skim reading, or do you not really pay that close attention?
I've definitely improved. At first, it was taking 2 to 3 hours per reading. 10 pages would take about a half hour. I was able to make it faster. Sometimes it would take up to 5 minutes if it was really confusing at first, but soon you get to learn how the cases are structured. It's a lot of case law. They usually list the facts to you, then they list the issue presented, then they give you the holding, and then they give you the reasoning behind the holding and why that's the best holding. And you get used to reading it in those formats. I do admit, though, there's times where I either don't have time or I'm lazy or a mixture of the two, and I'll Google the case, which is basically it's the Spark Notes for cases. And it's funny. It's funny when I hear on days that I do that, I hear someone being cold called or answering a question, and they'll literally read straight off from the Google version, and I'm like, I know.
Yeah.
I'm on to you. You didn't read the case.
Your secret's safe with me.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah, I won't tell on you if you don't tell on me.
That's a fair deal.
And so, it's looking like fingers crossed. I'm gonna work in New York this summer.
Oh yeah.
I had an internship. I worked at a personal injury law firm last summer. That was a good time. I worked on the NFL concussion case. I helped negotiate the $785 million settlement. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't, but I did some like help with that, talking to football players.
Let's talk about that. Football is getting. I mean, it's getting. It's always been outrageously dangerous, but there's all these cases coming out now. I mean, I don't know if they're gonna try to improve padding or they're gonna have stricter penalties.
Right. It's hard just because you got these over 300-pound dudes. Just this pure impact that's gonna definitely cause some injuries.
I don't know if I'd want my kids to be playing like high school football if I know they're damaging their brain that much.
My mom never wanted me to play. What was interesting is, talking to all these guys, they all have these issues. I was talking to all these guys on the phone, checking off symptoms. A lot of them have suicidal thoughts. They have depression, drug use is rampant, and who knows how much of that is due to their concussion, or it could be due to medication, could be due to the fact that you're at a young age, you're physically fit, and you're throwing all this money at you, and you don't know how to manage it. So you overspend, don't pay your taxes, whatever, and then a lot of them have to lose it and get a regular job because that kind of money, even though it's a lot of money, doesn't last forever unless you're one of the top guys.
Well, a lot of these guys grow up without any money, and then by the time they do have money, they spend it like crazy, and then by the time they are 5 years out of retirement, they've blown it all.
Yeah, definitely, and it's just interesting talking to these guys. It's funny, like this one guy though still like randomly calls me up, like asking me for legal advice, and I'm not a lawyer. I haven't taken the bar. I'm not allowed to give legal advice, and I always just tell him every time, hey, just call the law office I used to work for, and I'll give him the number. And I've done that like a few times, and it's kind of ridiculous. So he leaves me messages time to time.
Is he forgetting that you're giving him this advice to call a real lawyer?
I don't know. I've only, like it's always a break of like a month or two. He hasn't called in a while, luckily, but
right.
And it's really interesting just talking to these guys.
Well, Harrison is based out of Atlanta. I am a recent transplant to the Pacific Northwest, Seattle specifically, where I'm starting my first job out of graduate school.
Yeah, and how are you liking it? What did you like better, graduate school or working for your company?
Well, it's very different. It's obviously great to be making money. It's great not to worry about projects or homework. I mean, I'm astronomically less stressed now than I was ever in school.
Yeah.
But I miss being with my really close friends in college. It's really interesting. I mean, college is very unique in that it's really your chance to pick any friends that you want. I mean,
right,
in high school
as a person,
and in high school and before then, you're sort of paired with people that you grew up with and that your parents knew, maybe their kids. And now that I'm working, I love my friends out here, but a lot of them are people that I know through work, and it's not like I had a raw chance of picking people to hang out with, and because of that, I feel like my college friends were ultimately some of my closest friends.
Yeah, I love our friends, and maybe we'll get them on in the future, and
I'll be there next week. I'm going to St. Louis a week from yesterday. I'm very excited.
We'll have to hear how that is. So basically, the goal of our podcast is to share our lives with you. Hopefully we'll learn something along the way. You'll learn something along the way. And by you, I mean the listener.
Yes.
And, it's just our chance to vent about what's going on in our lives, what's going on in the news. We're trying to keep it light, keep it funny, keep it entertaining.
It'll be a very interesting social experiment because unlike 20, 30 years ago, only people that mattered could have their voices be heard. And it'll be interesting to see if this in any way can take off because we are two unknown people that people don't necessarily give a shit about. We are 23 and 24, and it'll be interesting. I don't know if anyone will want to listen or will like to listen, but until we know, it'll be fun to do this.
I have a question for you. How much do you know about Chris Hardwick?
Chris Hardwick.
Do you know who that is?
It sounds very familiar.
He does Talking Dead. He does the
the host.
And he runs Nerdist podcast. It's basically a podcast empire, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Who hosts Mike and Tommy Eat Snacks.
Yeah, so he's the founder of it, and he also has this show that's really interesting. And I was just thinking, he sort of took something and turned or nothing and turned it into something, and now he has this like bowling show where he bowls with all these celebrities.
Is that on Comedy
the Nerdist
Central?
Thing, no, it's on. It's just on YouTube. You should check it out, and the fans should check it
okay.
out. It's he's bowled against the Breaking Bad cast. He's bowled against Mad Men. He's bowled against Conan and Andy, Jimmy Fallon. So it's really interesting, and I just I want to research him more and just kind of learn about how he was able to turn something and get all these.
He's a young guy, right?
He's a pretty young guy.
In his early 30s.
Yeah, wait, let me look it up. We can find out. And he's apparently his parents are or his dad's a professional bowler, which is fun.
Well, I thought his dad had just died, and
he did.
The day after he died, he went to go record
Talking Dead.
Talking Dead. Yeah.
Yeah, and where a lot of people died. Jeez. Oh, and this guy is so hardworking. He hosts At Midnight on Comedy Central.
That's
he
what
voices
that's
Craig
what I was thinking
and
of.
Nickelodeon series Sanjay and Craig, whatever that is.
Right.
And then he has some Web Soup. He has that. And he was born in Kentucky.
Well, good for him for
So
staying
he was
busy.
a DJ. Okay, he was a DJ at a radio station. Oh, he's 42. Wow, he just looks so young.
Wow, he looks really young. I thought he was probably in his probably
Him and
32 or
Pharrell
something.
are just able to just keep the youth going. He's in his 40s too.
Who is?
Pharrell Williams. And then he just looks like a young guy, I think.
Yeah. Very interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, he seems like a very entertaining guy.
All right, you want to talk some news?
Yeah, let's talk about the news.
All right, let's test out the theme music. Wait. JK, 1 second.
Ha ha ha.
Haha. First episode.
Mark and Harry presents the news with Mark and Harry.
I actually hired a guy from the 1950s. I got in a time machine, went to the 1950s, gave him the microphone, told him to read it. He has that sort of old-timey flavor.
Now, did you have to pay him in 1950s dollars, or did you pay him the?
I did.
worth of
That's
today's
a great
dollars?
question. That is a great question. I
Thank
did.
you.
I had to. That was a very difficult process. I had to take a class in money forgery, which
Okay.
they offer in 2050. So I went forward in time to
Right.
learn about that class, how to make $1950. Went back in time. I made a couple thousand. Okay, fine. We're talking numbers. A couple $1,000 I paid him.
Well, why didn't
to
you
do
just
that.
go back at certain increments and keep downgrading your money to earlier dollars?
You know what? I advised someone in 2150 about that, and he said
Yeah.
that's a really bad idea, that I should just take the class in 2050
Right.
where money
Saves
forgery
plutonium.
was peaking. Yes, and plutonium. And
What
that-
Doc Brown did is he had, if you remember, he had that briefcase with different denominations of bills for different time periods.
Oh
he
yeah,
was very
that's
prepared.
brilliant. Yeah, but in the real world, things just work a little bit differently. I wish we could do the glitz and glamour of the movie world, but in real life, you have to do something a little bit more practical.
Right. Well, good for you for inventing the time machine and keeping it to yourself.
Yeah, I don't want to, get into wrong hands or whatever. And it was worth
Yeah.
it just to get that guy to read over the news segment. You know what I mean?
It was absolutely worth it. You could have done sound effects. You could have recorded your own voice and added some sound effects, but you didn't do that.
I just don't want to lie to the fans. I didn't want to
Yeah.
fake it,
I-
if you will.
I appreciate it. All right. Well, starting off on a little bit of a grim note,
Uh-oh.
I feel like we have this news coming out every 3 days of another school shooting in Philadelphia.
Really? What are the details?
The details, I haven't read that much about it. The 17-year-old opened fire and shot a 15 and 16-year-old. And something you don't hear in these stories is that he surrendered to police. Most of these stories don't end that way. And, this keeps happening, and I feel like we're in this cycle where these shootings happen. People are obviously shocked, as they should be, and they don't want to discuss policies and how to improve any sort of laws in order to prevent this in the future. And then things ease up, and then a few months later it happens again, and we're stuck in the same situation where no progress has been made. And these shootings keep happening. And I mean, I'm just sort of curious what your take is on these school shootings, if you think there is some sort of solution, or if it's something that is just so baked into our culture that it's sort of hard to unwind.
I'm personally of the belief that just no one. I just wish no one had guns, or everyone, like, which is not going to happen, or everyone is just mentally healthy enough that they wouldn't feel the need to do something so terrible.
Yeah.
And that's, it's part of the responsibilities on the schools. A lot of the responsibilities on the parents to watch the kids, and that's something really difficult. But what drives me nuts is there's a lot of stuff that's sort of like, all right, we're gonna give everyone guns, but why should we let people have? What kind of gun did he have? Did you say?
I think it was a pistol. I forget.
Yeah, well, there were like these guys with the automatic weapons and stuff. It's kind of just ridiculous. And speaking of that, Harvey Weinstein, who has his own production company, he's a big like movie mogul type dude, is planning on, I don't know if I told you this, he's planning on making a movie about how the NRA used its political influence to get this bill that was going to have some gun control shot down. And apparently he's maybe using hyperbole, but he says that the NRA is going to wish they were never born, or like something silly like that.
So I am very much of the opinion that we shouldn't have guns, especially these high-powered rifles. But I'm obviously from a perspective. I'm not a hunter. I don't. I don't have. I'm not enthusiastic about guns.
Yeah, me neither.
But I was talking to a friend of mine from home who goes hunting, and he likes hunting, and I understand. Some people. I like technology. I like computers.
Yeah, I like violent video games. I just don't like doing it in real life.
Right. But everyone has different fascinations, and some people just like the mechanics of a gun. And he had the argument, and it was very interesting, that a good solution is to allow concealed weapons, because in states like Texas, where you're allowed to have a concealed weapon, nobody knows who's loaded and who's not. So people are too scared to ever pull out a gun because they think or know that it's very possible that someone else near them has a gun themselves.
And they have the hold your ground laws too.
Oh, that's a whole different story.
Right.
And I think that's sort of an interesting proposition. I don't know if I agree with it.
Yeah, I don't think I do.
It seems pretty extreme, but it's a very interesting point of view.
Yeah, just with that, it's sort of just like, I guess, just scare. Bill Maher sort of says he has a gun because he's afraid of other people with guns, and that's
exactly
the reason why. So maybe more people are going to own guns and maybe misuse it. And let me look it up real quick. I don't want to say a ridiculous statistic, but I've heard something like a very high amount of people that own guns don't, like a high percentage, don't use them in situations that that they sort of use to justify buying it. Like, if
they would have to enforce laws to make sure they're locked up at all times. I mean, I can easily see a situation where someone just gets blackout drunk, they go home and they start playing with their gun and they shoot someone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a good point.
So pretty scary. I mean, it's really awful that these stories keep popping up.
Yeah,
and
it's just very unfortunate.
It's very unfortunate, and I'm just really curious what the trajectory is in terms of this. A lot of it is mental health. I think the majority of it is mental health, but that's such an abstract problem that it's hard to really understand what a suitable solution is.
Right, and then, people always come out and blame, video games, movies, television for having violence, and which always bothers me. Yeah, it's just so silly, because there's other ridiculous things that are in medium. Medium covers everything. It reflects life, and there's so many different factors going on. So many, like, obviously it's like a crazy ratio of people that don't do anything violent that still.
Yeah, it's a classic case of correlation does not cause causation.
Right.
I think humans are very good at distilling fantasy from reality and understanding, satire, for example, and being able to separate these two concepts. If everyone who played Grand Theft Auto stole cars, killed hookers, and shot people, we would have a big problem on our hands.
I'm so bummed that I got my money taken away.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, which is all of you, Harrison and I every so often play Grand Theft Auto 5 on Xbox Live, and through some glitch, someone gave Harrison, how much was it?
It was a little over $60 million.
Yeah, that's $1 million US. And so he was living it up. He had the nicest hotel, had the nicest apartment, he had the nicest cars, the nicest guns, the nicest clothes. And then
they had a patch. They did a patch recently, and now I'm down to I'd spent a couple million. Don't get me wrong, I spent a lot of it.
Yeah, you did.
So now I'm at 175,000, which is okay. Yeah, I'm basically broke. Jeez. And I got to keep all my nice stuff, but it kind of, I liked being sort of the Bruce Wayne of the GTA 5 world, where I could buy the most expensive things. I was basically
throwing parties.
Yeah, throwing parties, inviting hookers and strippers into my apartment.
You know what? If this was reality and you had someone had stolen money and given it to you, and all the government asked for was just the raw cash back, that'd be a pretty good deal.
Yeah. I can. I think I might be able to sell the cars and stuff. That'd be interesting.
Very interesting.
But I don't know. It's not a big deal.
All right, let's come back to reality.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys want to hear more about GTA 5? Okay. So
and something else I wanted to talk about,
okay,
unless there's something you wanted to discuss.
Go ahead. Well, I was going to bring up this one story. We can talk about it real quickly. I want to know what your take is on it, because I told you about the story, but not what your opinion was on it. Speaking of Harvey Weinstein, when I brought him up, I did a presentation, which is a whole nother story, for a contract drafting class I did. And the story is this, that Harvey Weinstein and his brother Bob Weinstein, they formed Miramax, which is the names of their parents, the Mira and Max.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that's how they formed that name. They made that company, sold it to Disney. Disney didn't want to make the Lord of the Rings movies, basically, so they are kind of under the control of Disney. Miramax owned the movie rights to the books by J.R.R. Tolkien, which is Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. And then they ended up, what they did is they figured out how to get the technology going for these gigantic fight scenes, which were pretty innovative at the time, and they were going to spend, I think, $60 million on each movie. That was the budget.
Seems pretty cheap.
Which is, very cheap for those kind of, blockbuster movies. But just Disney, apparently Michael Eisner put the kibosh on it. And so what they did is they sold the movie rights to Warner Brothers, or New Line Cinema, which is owned by Warner Brothers, for I don't have the exact numbers, but it was a lot of money and 5% of the gross receipts. And the contract basically said that, so half of those, the 5%, would go to Bob and Harvey Weinstein, the other half would go to Miramax and Disney. And what they wanted to do was they would only pay Miramax and the Weinsteins the 5% for the first movie made for each of the books, and not for remakes. So it said, so basically, if they want to reboot the Lord of the Rings movies, which made a couple $1 billion, they wouldn't pay Warner Brothers, or they wouldn't pay the Weinsteins for it. So the problem is that for these Hobbit movies, they split it into 3 books. Or 3 movies. Sorry, they split the one book into 3 movies. I think it's like A Journey Begins or something like that, or The Desolation of Smaug. And the last one is, I forget what it is, whatever. It doesn't matter. So basically, what they're trying to do is Warner Brothers is not wanting to pay for movies 2 and 3, which is based on the one book, because they're arguing this isn't the first movie, was only the first movie, The Hobbit. And let's take a look at what The Hobbit one made.
Well, I just looked up the gross earning of the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Yeah, it's a couple billion.
2.97 billion.
Yeah. And so that would have been the Weinsteins and Miramaxes if they had held on to it and made the movie. In theory, who knows how it would have been. Domestic total. Oh, this is just domestic. Desolation of Smaug has made $248 million. Let's look up. Oh, it's Unexpected Journeys, the first one. It's made $303 million domestic. It's probably made a lot more than that on foreign and also I guess movie sales. So basically, the two sides of the dispute is it's sort of a definitional problem. Are these two movies that are coming out based on the Hobbit book part of the first movie plan or part of the remake plan? I kind of want to side with the Weinsteins and Miramax, Judge Harrison in the house. Oh, I wish I had a sound effect for that.
Is it because they're Jewish?
Yeah, that's exactly. But let's take out religion out of it.
Sure.
Judge Harrison would take religion out of it. Maybe if I got greased on the side, I would give in. But my feeling is the sort of the spirit of the deal is that this is all part of the first run of the movie. Since they haven't told that part of the book on the big screen. They did make like a cartoon in the 70s, I read, but this deal was made way past that.
Right.
Is that the spirit of the deal is this isn't a remake, obviously. And yes, technically it's not a first movie, but it's the first iteration of The Hobbit on the big screen. And so that's kind of what I feel like they do deserve money for that. So instead of like multi-millionaires, they're going to be like just multi-millionaires, if that makes any sense. Those guys are so rich already as it is.
Oh, yeah.
So who gives a shit at the same time? But
they're probably one of the most famous producers in Hollywood.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And they, I mean, we'll talk about it later probably, but they kind of got boned at the Oscars this year because they had Silver Linings Playbook, the Weinsteins, which got so many Oscars. I think it won Best Picture, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and then Jennifer Lawrence.
I don't think it deserved Best Picture, but it did.
Okay. Well, so what's your thought on the deal, Judge Mark?
It's hard to say. First off, you probably know this or you forgot it. I have never seen Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I haven't seen The Hobbit. I saw Lord of the Rings. I liked them. They're still long as s. But,
I would say that the two movies, if they are derivative of the novel, I would say that they're liable to pay the Weinstein brothers.
Yeah, it's kind of like a sneaky. I kind of don't even like that move anyway. Like, I don't know. I wish I knew more about the Lord of the Rings. The Hobbit might even be shorter than one of the books, you know.
Well, do you think that was part of their scheme to split it into into a trilogy to bone them, or do you think that was just a byproduct of their plans?
Well, this is what Harvey Weinstein said, and I kind of agree with it. I think what happened is a lawyer was going through the contract, the legal department, and was like, you know what? We might be able to like win this case basically by arguing that we shouldn't have to pay and we can make like a couple $100 million or something, like $100 million. You know what I mean? So he's basically just like probably some lawyers like, you know, we can argue this, and they're suing Warner Brothers for breach of contract. If they win, that saves them, you know, so much money. So I think they're just sort of like, let's try it and see what it does. I don't think they're sort of like, let's I don't like think they did that with that intention per se, but you know, see, that's what I hate about like lawyers in law school. They're just so like weaselly sometimes, and there's just people that they care so much about just winning. It's just it is. I mean, that's part of the spirit of law, but I'm just more of the opinion, just make things fair, not. Things should just be fair. It shouldn't be just because you did some clever lawyering. Oh, it's not the first movie, so we don't owe you any money for this. It should be like, come on, like we made an agreement. Let's we're partners.
But at the end of the day, there'll be an asshole to save a couple $100 million.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's it's a lot of money.
Interesting.
But who's getting it? I don't know. Mm-hmm.
You know what? If they want to throw a couple million to us, we will side whoever they, you know.
Yeah, we can use our prestige and our influence over the podcast community to get some public opinion and public rouse up the public.
And by the way, Chris Hardwick, we talked you up a lot. We think that you're in your 30s. Why don't you throw us on
Nerdist. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Chris Hardwick.
You're welcome. All right, very cool. There was something else that has been in the news this week. I don't know if you've been following any of this Chris Christie business
with the Bridge Jam.
Yeah,
explain it a little bit further though.
So basically, the George Washington Bridge that connects New Jersey to New York goes through a town the last town in New Jersey is Fort Lee, New Jersey, right?
Okay.
And the mayor of Fort Lee, who's a Democrat, didn't support Chris Christie in his 2013 reelection campaign.
Okay.
So Chris Christie's staff, I'm assuming Chris Christie had something to do with it. I mean, to think that his staff was doing this, this
Behind
staff
his
conspired
back,
behind his back makes no sense. That they cut down what I think was 3 lanes to 1 to create traffic jams in that town and sort of mess up that town as retribution for not backing him up. And that was only one of the 2 Chris Christie stories that broke this week. Another one was that the mayor of Hoboken claimed that Christie ordered the Sandy relief funds to be withheld unless she backed his redevelopment plans. So, I'm sorry. This guy is such a fucking idiot to have these conspiracies and have all these plans and to think that these aren't going to break out. Like, politicians do this every day.
You're buying it. You're buying it that he was behind it.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Of course.
Why? I'm not convinced. But
to think that any of these shady backdoor deals will not become public at some point is so naive. I mean, we've been proven time and time again. You know.
Yeah.
You know, the NSA right now, Watergate. I mean, there are so many of these different news stories. Granted, there's probably a lot of stuff we don't know, but to throw away your dignity and do these sort of backdoor deals is so weird and just so naive. I just can't believe it.
It just seems kind of petty to me that they did that.
Yeah, it's so petty.
And I think I heard from someone that Chris Christie is taking the route that he wasn't aware, right?
But
I know that about
the
bridge.
Break. I mean, yeah, of course he said that, but
is he going to fire people over this? Like,
yeah,
what do you
people
think?
resigned. If you were one of his
resigned?
top aides, would you risk your own job to help out your own boss
by making a traffic jam? Like, wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even it's all retribution.
Yeah, and that seems. I honestly, as far as like, I'm definitely more liberal leaning, but as far as like what I'd heard about Chris Christie, I liked about him. He seemed like a pretty pragmatic dude. He had a good philosophy. We might have talked about this before, but I watched his debate with, I think he was going against a former senator for the governor chair. And it's so silly, like the gay marriage thing. I just don't, it just seems like is it relevant anymore that people are trying to stop it? And he's just of the opinion that he said he would support his children if they were gay, but he wouldn't support them getting married. And that's using his
It's
own...
all just wrapped up in this bullshit 2-party political system where there are certain buzzwords like abortion and gay marriage that they need to side with in order to keep the members of their party happy. I mean, there's probably so much that politicians tout that are just not a part of their real agenda.
Yeah, I just want to like get them in a room alone and be like, all right, what do you really think? Like, should they get married? Like, it was funny when Obama, sort of when he said he supports gay marriage now, he was like, I just came to the conclusion. I was thinking about it. It's like, dude, how old is he? In his 50s? It's like you're in your 50s and you've just figured it out. You had your mind changed. Nah, people don't get their mind changed. Yeah, people don't get there when you're that old. You don't change your mind about something that fundamental like that.
The whole fight against gay marriage makes no sense to me. It affects you in no way whatsoever. Like, why do you give a shit? How does that? Are you upset because of the definition of the word marriage? Like, do you work for the Webster Dictionary? Why do you give a shit?
The only thing that I understand, I don't necessarily respect, is just a religious argument. But there's so many things in the Bible or in other religions that are crazy that
pro-slavery.
They don't follow. Yeah, that they're like selective about, and it's just sort of like, all right, it's your preconceived notion. And being in the South, there's definitely a tinge of that. I experienced some anti-gay, sometimes some racist stuff, but not, it's definitely improving, and it's something that, I don't know, I hope in 20, 30 years that it's just no one's even talking about it anymore.
Yeah, we're going to look back, and we're going to think it's outrageous that gay marriage was ever illegal. We're gonna think it's outrageous that weed was ever illegal. I mean, there's certain things that the dying off generation are holding to that are slowly gonna
Right.
transform.
But yeah, to wrap that story up, how dare you, Chris Christie?
Yeah, how dare you, Chris Christie?
How dare you? How dare you?
How dare you?
Chris Christie,
How dare you?
you?
How dare you attack the son of Odin? Need some help.
On that topic, how dare a lot of people in this world?
Oh, are we gonna go on a how dare you tangent?
Yeah, how dare you?
Yeah, how dare you? All right, I have a how dare you? How
Let's hear
dare you, Justin Bieber?
Oh,
Yo, snap! I'm calling you out, dude. Egging your neighbor's house, or having your stupid moocher friends egging someone's house. Yeah, you deserve to be rated. Oh, and shocker, there's drugs in your house. And oh, shocker, your black friend is taking the rap for it. Way to be. It should have been a white, middle-aged woman if you take the rap for it. You know, that'd be a little bit more believable. So I think they found like Molly
that
and
would
stuff
have been
in
more
his house.
believable. You see what I did there?
Yeah, he's definitely taking the fall for Bieber. Who knows? That's another guy I just want to like take in a room and be like, "What are you up to, dude?" Like, what?
Does Bieber, do you think, actually do coke?
You know what? Who knows? I can see it either way. My guess is he dabbles in it, and no, I think he smokes weed all the time. He has to.
Obviously.
And
Well,
I think he does Molly too. Like,
What there was that whole thing about him retiring about
Yeah,
him
he
tweeting. Was that
said-
just all bullshit?
that's a good question. As far as I know, it is not bullshit, but it's probably like he has to do more.
Did you see the aerial shot of his house? It is huge.
Really? Is his where's it? L.A.?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. He has so much money. What's his net worth? I think 130 million.
Is it really? Yeah. I think they egged him too because they like maybe called like noise complaints or something when he had parties. I don't know.
What is he to gain by doing that?
I don't know. That's what I wonder. It's like when you're that successful, that rich, that young. It's like what are your goals at that point? Like what? Like he has.
Well, I mean, that's why
he has
he's
to be
so
sexually. Like I just bet he's like such a weirdo. He's like.
Yeah,
suck
I mean, a
on
lot
my
of these celebrities are just
toes,
fucked for
suck on
life
my
because
toes.
they're just, they don't live in a world with repercussions. They have so much money and so much power that they just don't care. And who knows what kind of person he'll become.
Yeah, and he's got the tattoos and stuff. I'm just not into that. I don't
What
know.
a
He's a
prick.
talented guy, but I don't know if he's as talented anymore. Like he definitely has like handlers and a ton of people.
Yeah.
I was taking a quiz up on Justin Bieber, and this is another how dare you, Justin Bieber.
Let's hear it.
The question was, I'm just curious to hear what your answer is. How many segues does Justin Bieber have with him on every tour or something like that? When Justin Bieber's on tour, how many segues does he keep with him at all times?
What is 5 segues?
I think the answer was two segues. And then there was another one. This is the quiz up so hilarious. It's like, what does Justin's bodyguard sing to Justin in order to wake him up? And it was just like some like soul or rap song, but it's funny.
What a loser. All right, moving on. How dare you, Madonna?
Oh, I had a how dare you, Madonna.
How dare you.
dare yeah, Madonna, seriously.
Yeah, Madonna, let's
That's a
talk.
double how dare you, Madonna.
A double how dare you. First off, get off Instagram. You are gaining
What are you?
Madonna has done a couple things back to back. The first is she uploads a picture of her like 14 or 15-year-old son drinking a bottle of gin, I believe, on Instagram. Very good, Madonna. Good
Yeah,
parenting.
great, yeah. Wow,
Let's follow
very
that up with
enlightened
another
of you.
Instagram post
Let's hear about
that she
this.
did a couple days ago where she put up a picture of her son fighting in a boxing ring. Okay, yeah, that's a solid hobby. But she writes, quote, "No one messes with dirty soap. Mama said knock you out. Hashtag dis N." And I'll say N-word. But
N-word,
it's
yeah.
dis N with the rest of the words that would follow that.
Yeah.
What are you thinking doing something like that?
Yeah, were you like hilarious, Nice one, Madonna.
Yeah.
You're killing it with the kids. Also, like, yeah, when she did like the whole shout out to Molly, like, has anyone seen Molly? All right, Madonna, get your irrelevant ass off the stage. Do not talk to anyone.
Well, I mean, is she pulling a Miley Cyrus and just trying to be relevant? Is that what her end game is?
I don't know. Maybe she thought it's like there's no way that you can use the N word unless like you're, you know, in my mind, I'm cool with if you're quoting a song or say if someone said it, I'm not going to be offended by it. I mean, I'm not black, so it's not like. But I understand, like intellectually, I understand where that comes from. But just like sort of like using it like that in such a when you're a public figure in a public forum, like Instagram, like yeah, maybe she was just trying to get some attention to attract it to her and to her son.
Very weird. Very.
Did you
weird.
read the apology? I have the apology up.
The apology, she wrote like dick or something.
No,
I couldn't figure out what
I
the
have
word
it right
was. Yeah.
I have it right here. I am sorry if I offended anyone with my use of the N-word on Instagram. It was not meant as a racial slur. I am not a racist. Okay, but you have to realize you can believe you're not a racist, but we don't know that.
What does that mean? It's not meant to. It is a racist slur.
Right. There's no way to defend the use of the word. All right, you're right there. It was all about intention. Okay? It was used as a term of endearment towards my son, who is white. I appreciate that it's a provocative word, and I apologize if it gave people the wrong impression. Very Madonna of you. Just she's sorry she's offended anyone, but she's not sorry that she used the word.
Yeah, right. That's like the biggest half-assed apology.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I've definitely pulled that with
it's like, I'm sorry that
before.
You got
It's
offended.
like, yeah, sorry you're upset. Like, I'm not sorry what I did, but
I'm sorry that you have that state of mind.
Well done.
Well done, Madonna.
All right, I have another. How dare you? You ready?
Let's hear it. Yeah.
Shia LaBeouf. How dare you?
How dare you, Shia?
Plagiarism. Not cool. Not cool. Then he also plagiarized his apology or something, saying that nothing is original. And then,
what was it? A graphic novel or something?
I don't. Who cares? He plagiarized like someone. Apparently, like a Yahoo Answers said like this sort of a thing about plagiarism. Nothing's original, whatever. And here's another. How dare you? How dare you? Why are you getting into a feud with Lena Dunham of all people? Have you heard about that?
No.
Okay. He apologized for his plagiarism, I think like around New Year's by flying.
Oh, maybe I did hear about this.
He flew a plane apologizing in the sky, like with a sign on the back. And then she posts, I've always felt, Lena Dunham, this is Lena Dunham on Twitter, I've always felt utterly and unchangeably that only sociopaths hire skywriters. Okay, interesting, great. Glad we got your 2 cents on that.
Yeah.
And then, what did he say? He wrote, I don't mind creating debate with thoroughly considered artistic expressions, but I don't want to offend with a tweet. Sorry, world. I'm addicted to lean, and that shit ain't no joke. I can barely remember all the things I've done and said. However, there's no excuse for skywriting. Dunham's response, vaguely recognized Shia LaBeouf's latest Twitter apology and realized it was mine. Touche, Louis Stevens. Ha ha ha. A reference to his Disney character that he played. You watch that show? Ever?
Yeah, and you know what's something shocking? That show was only on for 3 seasons.
Huh.
Isn't that really interesting?
Yeah, I feel like it'd be on longer.
Yeah, me too. I have another one, and it's more of a general to the how dare you America media.
Oh, okay. Let's hear it.
How dare you? And I don't know if you saw the same reaction, but a couple days ago at the Critics' Choice Award, Sandra Bullock said the word fuck.
Oh,
it was some sort of noise.
I heard about that. Yeah, I didn't.
And she said fuck. Every article, the headline was Sandra Bullock said fuck. Sandra Bullock fucks. Fuck this, said Sandra Bullock. But when you click on those articles, you find out that Bradley Cooper said fuck as well, but none of those headlines showcased Bradley Cooper. Now I ask, is it because Sandra Bullock is more famous, or is it because Sandra Bullock is a woman and they think it's more shocking?
I don't know. Yeah, I think maybe. Yeah, it's got to be a sex thing going on into it. Also, I think her image is a little bit cleaner than Bradley Cooper. Bradley Cooper's in the Hangover movies, which are pretty filthy. But, yeah, it's like one of those like non-stories. It's like you don't have anything better to write about. You have to write, oh, she used the F word. Yeah, no, I can't believe
Dude, those are people's just whole jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Working for like E. That's what they do.
Yeah, it's like I got a great story for you. Okay. Yeah. What's going on in Syria and Libya right now? No. Sorry.
No.
Sandra Bullock and Bradley Cooper both use the F word. Bradley Cooper's not going to get us any hits. All right, take him out. Let's just do Sandra Bullock.
Let's do SB. And I've got one more on the topic of award shows. How dare you, the Academy of the Academy Awards?
Oh, okay. I was wanting to talk about this later, but yeah, go ahead.
You know, I just want to go into this. The ending of did you see Captain Phillips?
I did not. I need to see that.
Tom Hanks' acting was so good at the end. I honestly think at the end he played shocked. He was like in shock, and it was so amazing. I was so taken aback by it. I thought he did such a great job, and I walked out saying, all right, definitely nominated for Best Actor, possibly Best Actor. Didn't even get nominated, and I was so disappointed. And I'm starting to come to the realization that although I respect the Academy Awards more so than any other award show, it's all bullshit. I mean, if the Best Actor won, then the same person would win every year. You know?
You think so?
Yeah.
Maybe they just had a better role or something, though.
Not necessarily, but there's other contributions. You know, I just feel like there's some politics in the whole thing, and I guess what can you expect?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh my God! 1 second. Get out of here.
Is that the cat?
Yeah, the cat. Interrupting this professional podcast right now, cats. Okay. Yeah, the whole Oscars. It's like apparently it's good like marketing and it helps your movies make more money if you win the Oscars, but it's so like self-serving and cyclical. It's like I don't know. It's just like I just don't care. I like watching like the comedy bits and stuff, but I don't really care who wins. I kind of care. I'm kind of curious, I guess, about who wins Best Picture and stuff. But we can talk about that a little bit later. We can talk about Oscar picks. All right, let's go. Do you have any more news stories you want to bring up? I have one that's not going to take long to talk about.
I had one that I just thought was interesting, but we can skip it. Why don't you go ahead?
Okay. So I found this one on Reddit. Here's the headline: Usain Bolt ate 100 chicken McNuggets a day in Beijing and somehow won 3 gold medals. So there's a quote from him in his upcoming
Who's he again?
Autobiography. He's the track star from Jamaica, I believe. So that's 12,000 calories a day.
Oy.
That's without sweet and sour sauce. So he said basically because there was like nothing good in China that he goes, at first I ate a box of 20 for lunch and then another for dinner. The next day I had 2 boxes for breakfast, 1 for lunch, and then another couple in the evening. I even grabbed some fries and apple pie to go with it. This is a good how dare you, but how dare you, Usain Bolt, have such a good metabolism that you can eat 100 chicken McNuggets a day. It doesn't make a difference. He's like jacked. All right, let's pull up a picture of him.
You know, I'll tell you why he did that. For his checking and savings account, McDonald's is going to hop all over that and hire
that's
him
a good
as a
angle
sponsor.
on the story. I didn't even think about that. Maybe McDonald's should be paying us.
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm sorry. For as much shit as McDonald's gets, they make a tremendous product. They are a tremendous company. They feed millions of people a day. They employ millions of people. Oh, maybe not millions, but they're a great company.
Mm-hmm. I read a book, or actually I didn't finish the book. I read a couple chapters, and McDonald's has made, I think, more millionaires, than any other country in the world, and it's made more minority millionaires than any other company in the world.
I'm not surprised, and because they have a very strict guidelines for who they'll franchise out to. I've heard that in order to have a McDonald's open in a proposed location, they need to have someone sit there from something like 2 to 3 in the morning, and if a certain amount of cars don't pass by that road, they're not going to even bother.
Oh, yeah, I've heard stuff like that too. They have some interesting testing skills to make sure that it's going to be profitable. I mean, it's a factory. They have it down to a science. They have food down to a science, and they have cheap food that's pretty tasty. I don't really. I try to avoid fast food, but
Yeah, I same with me. And speaking of fast food, I've been telling you this. I've been on a little bit of a health binge. I'm like on my 6th week so far, which has been pretty good. I'm trying to cut down on.
Wait, guys, he's trying to be healthy. Guys, he's trying to be healthy. Leave him alone.
Man.
All right, continue. Sorry.
I'm a little bit more
Guys,
self-conscious
just
now.
settle down.
Well, so there are times where I'd go to Chipotle and I was just starving, and my default burrito was a steak burrito with sour cream cheese, guacamole, lettuce, some salsa, blah blah blah. And then times I would go and I'd get chips and guac as well. You know, it's a lot of food, but if you're hungry, it's doable. I was looking it up on their website. It's
Yeah,
almost
it's crazy.
2,000 calories.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's kind of
So
insane.
gross. But I was just at at work during the week. I eat salads for lunch, but I didn't really feel like having a salad at home, so I made a lettuce wrap of a tuna sandwich. Pretty good. But I was looking at beef jerky, and I didn't realize that beef jerky is a very good low calorie, low fat snack. It's just a lot of protein.
Is it?
Yeah.
I had always the impression it was bad for you, but I never really.
Slim Jims is really bad for you.
Well, beef jerky has a lot of salt. I think that might be
A lot of sodium, some carbs, but very low fat, very low calories. But compared to a Slim Jim, Slim Jims are like 30 grams of fat. They're really, really bad for you.
I don't even know what's in those. It's like so nasty.
It has
I don't
chicken, turkey, beef,
even- Ugh.
anthrax.
I used
it has
to like
everything all
them.
mixed
I
together.
just can't do it anymore.
Yeah. I was able to eat a lot more in high school compared to now. I used to be able to put back
Right,
a lot of food.
right.
I don't know.
Yeah, me too. I definitely.
I don't know how I
way,
could do
way
it.
less. Yeah.
Something else I want to talk about
Right.
in the news is just pretty funny. We have talked about Tinder before, and
Mhm.
for the listeners who don't know, Tinder is an application that takes in your location on your phone and will match you up with people of the sex that you're interested in. I won't say opposite sex, of the sex that you're interested in, and you can either say yes or no.
Mhm.
And if you and that other person mutually say yes to each other, it'll inform them, and then you can chat. And for a long time, that application was only available on Android and iOS, which is the iPhone operating system, neither of which I use. I use Windows Phone. And there is this developer who makes applications for the Windows Phone called Rudy Huyn, Huyn. How would you pronounce that?
Huyn? Hun? I don't know. Hun?
Sure. And he makes these third-party clients for these popular services. So he's made a very good Instagram app, a very good Vine, Snapchat, and they're all great. A lot of them are better than the real thing. And this past Monday or Tuesday, he came out with an app called Six Tinder, which is a Tinder client for Windows Phone. It looks just like it. It works very well. And for the last couple of days, I was playing with it. It's very entertaining. And I found out last night that Tinder ordered Microsoft to take it down.
Oh wow! Is it similar in design too?
Yeah, dead on design. And a reason I can understand is if you don't pay for the app, he has ads on it. And I would understand a person or a company not wanting someone else to make money off their service. I get it.
Right, because they're probably developing their own, right, to expand.
Who knows?
That's an obvious move.
That's the obvious reason. But if I was Tinder, I would put that guy on a salary, let him maintain it, and put the Tinder name on it. It's, for very cheap, they can have a full-fledged Windows Phone version of it. And I'm just very curious what the outcome is going to be there.
Yeah. Keep us posted on that. That's pretty interesting.
A couple other technology-related topics I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
Did you hear about Amazon's latest plans?
Drones that deliver.
No. Even newer than that. They plan to preemptively ship you a product that you are looking at before you even order it. So if they see that you're spending a lot of time on a specific product page or even hovering your mouse over a certain product, they will load it onto a truck and ship it to either the center near you or even to your house, hoping that you order it.
Oh, so
And
they pre-plan it? They're like, oh, we're closing on a sale maybe. Is that the thing? Is that the idea?
That's the idea. And so worst comes to worst, you would return it, or if it's cheap enough, they'll just give it to you for free and say, thank you for being an Amazon customer.
Yeah.
And this is even putting another nail in the coffin of brick and mortar stores. I mean, if you can order something, a lot of things you can order same day, but I mean, if they preemptively ship you these things, it's going to be very interesting.
Well, their plan is to, in certain locations, they can have same-day delivery. I think that's
which they already do in Seattle out here. They also have Amazon Fresh that a lot of my friends
Food?
patronize, where
Groceries?
you order groceries, you say, "Hey, I'm going to be home on Thursday between 6 and 7
That's
p.m."
amazing.
and they'll drive a truck to you and they'll deliver all your groceries.
That's sweet. That's really
Very
sweet.
sweet.
Wow. Wow. And,
Very cool.
do you
And
have any other technology?
sorry, the last thing I want to talk
Oh,
about, a story leaked today that Paramount is officially going all digital. They're abandoning film and
in movie theaters?
in movie theaters. So if you don't have a digital projector, it might become the time for you to upgrade, or else you won't be able to show Paramount films anymore.
Wow, that's interesting. I mean, people claim that there is a difference between digital film and, I guess, what is it called, analog, or I don't know.
Oh
whatever.
yeah, film.
Or normal
And
film,
it's
physical.
pretty interesting. So directors like Quentin Tarantino swear to film; they refuse to go digital, and he's even opened up his own movie theater that will keep supporting all filmed movies.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I guess I can't really spot the difference as far as I can tell, but I mean, I'm no,
It's
no
it's
fan of
grainier. It seems a little bit more rustic.
both. Huh.
I get it, but
I can't even tell. I can't even see that.
I'm totally for embracing new technologies. But
Right. Speaking of new technologies, human interest piece. Here's the headline: a porn star has to choose between her size O breasts and her life. So
go on.
All right. So this porn star Elizabeth Starr, whoever that is.
2 R's or 1 R?
2 R's. Good question.
That's what I thought. Thank you.
Load that up. Load up a picture of her, by the way.
Let's check her out.
Check her out. So there's this picture with all these. They're like basically cartoonish looking, like balloons in each of her boobs.
Yeah, too much.
And she got her first operation. You're looking right
Oh
now.
my god.
In 1999, she underwent a controversial procedure, since been banned in some countries, in which string implants were inserted. So these implants allow her breasts to absorb fluid, and they get bigger over time.
So if she's
now
really
they've
well hydrated, then
So they've led to
it
some
will be
blood
big.
clots, which is due to scar tissue, and it's basically all of her cosmetic surgery. So she has to get them removed, or
Ugh.
it could kill her,
These
and
are
she'd have to get
gross.
a double mastectomy. I know, it's like, yeah, it's like
At
it's
this point-
cartoon. You're a cartoon. Like what? It's like why? That has to
Does she
hurt your
think this
back.
is sexy,
and,
or is she doing it because she know it'll help her?
Oh,
her,
there's people that
her,
are into it.
porn career.
She's saying it's about her career. After 63 procedures on my right breast and fighting to keep my career in my breast, I honestly don't think I could. A mastectomy would take away my livelihood, and I don't know what else I would do. It's hard to be the victim of something, and it's even harder when you choose a path in life where people might look down on you and think, she deserved it. But I wouldn't wish this on anyone. I hope my story will act as a warning. Wow. I mean,
Why can't you have them removed and then start over with a more appropriate size?
I mean, she's nutty, I guess, or maybe she. I mean, those jugs are probably paid for themselves like a million times, you know.
Jeez. Are any guys turned on by this? This is so gross looking.
I know it doesn't
Like,
look real.
nipples are
there
the size of
has
my
to be,
face.
dude. There's people that are into the cartoon,
Into everything,
There's
yeah.
into those like machine stuff. I mean, the internet's basically made like it's like a pervert's paradise. It's like you can look up someone with 2 penises, you know, like it's
I
the
saw that on
sky.
Reddit.
Oh, you saw that? The sky's the
Well,
limit.
that
Is
guy
that
had
real?
an
Is it
AMA.
real? Is it real?
sorry?
Or wait, were they real? Both of them, or was it one?
Yeah,
plus
and he talked about his experience with women and everything. It was pretty interesting.
All right. On the same topic, I got one last. It's not really even a news story, but on Reddit. Speaking of Reddit too, they had what is the like craziest thing on Google Maps. And
Yeah.
apparently, there's a guy getting a hand job. On
I think I've
public
seen that
hand
before,
job
yeah.
on Google. If you go on Google Street View, which is
There's some really funny
hilarious.
things where you
Like,
see someone.
I was just gonna say, like they hire photographers, you know, just drive down the road and take
Yeah.
photos. And it's like, did he like take the photo and he's like, Bob, like, all right, this guy was just getting a hand job. Should we use it? It's like, no, we gotta get home, dude. Let's just keep going.
Well, there's times where I've seen, you click and you go forward like 30 feet, where you
Okay.
see someone jogging and then you go forward and they face planted on the next shot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's really
I
funny.
saw an interesting one too, where it's basically summer, and then you go like a foot further, and then it's all of a sudden everything's covered in snow, and
Yeah.
you just like you can just tell like that's exactly where they stopped taking photos, and then they decided
Right, until they
then
restarted.
they came back a little bit later.
They have a very cool project where they're building that technology into backpacks. Have you seen that?
What technology? Google Maps
The
or photography?
Google Street View technology, and they'll have people go on crazy hikes, and they'll capture the whole thing.
Oh, that's dope.
It's very cool.
That's cool. I want to check that out.
They have them on bikes. They have them on backpacks. It's a very cool experiment.
All right, you got any other news stories you want to talk about? We can move on. We can talk some entertainment.
Yeah, well, a little shout out. Google bought Nest this past week, and Nest is a company that
A chocolate syrup company, right?
I'm sorry.
They make chocolate milk. Nest.
You are thinking of Nestle,
Oh, whoops.
which got split off into a company called Nest that builds home automated tools.
Yeah.
More specifically, they have two products. One is a automatic thermostat, and the other one is a more automatic smoke detector. My mom has 4 Nests at home. They're very cool. They all sync together. It's a very awesome technology, and Google bought them this past week. I think it was a very good purchase.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, so I guess they're just continuing to expand into more hardware and hard products rather than.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of companies that are trying to get into the home automation business, but there isn't a major company that's trying to get a stranglehold on that. So
it's gonna be weird to like Google if Google just runs your apartment or house or whatever. That'd be kind of crazy.
yeah, they'll have even more personal data than we want them to. And the last thing, Xbox One is the number one console in the U.S. 908,000 sold.
Well done, Xbox
Well
One.
done, Xbox
Have you?
One.
You haven't gotten one yet, have you?
I have not. I don't play that many games. I use it almost 95% for entertainment, but every so often a game like Grand Theft Auto will come out that I like.
Yeah, I'm waiting for. Yeah, there's got to be the game like Halo 4. I love the Halo games.
Yeah, you love Halo, and you're very good at Halo. I mean, the things you do with a pistol, Harrison. Yeah.
Yes, I know. As long as it's in space and fake reality. All right, so let's just talk some entertainment. I think I got some music. Let me find that. There it.
The Mark and Harry Show is about to tell you what's up in entertainment. That's right, bitches.
Wow, language on that. Wow.
Yeah, please.
Geez,
Who'd you hire for that
this
one?
is a kid show. That one I actually just used a computer. I believe that was the first computer ever invented. I had to hire a couple of software engineers to make a text-to-voice program. When was the first computer invented? Like the 60s, maybe? No, way before
It depends on
that.
how you define
Yeah.
computer.
Right.
And Harrison, you could have hired me. I'm a software engineer.
Well,
Bad purchase.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, that's another couple grand in the hole. I'm pretty.
All right.
I mean, we're
I'm
gonna.
I'm not
our
paying you
first
back on that
sponsor-
one.
Okay, well, you owe me. So let's talk about Oscar nominees picks. I think it'd be interesting maybe if we had a little friendly bet. We picked what we predict for.
Oh, okay.
That,
I like that a lot.
it would make the awards more worth watching because, like we said before, like who gives a shit?
So there's a lot of awards. Let's do the top 6, which are Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Supporting Actor, Best Supporting Actress, and Best Director.
Okay, wait. Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, Best Actress, and a Supporting Actor and Actress.
And let's go in reverse order, just like
well,
the real
let's
awards.
do one more just in case. So it's an odd number, so there will be a clear winner, hopefully.
Best Animated Picture. I don't know enough about.
Yeah, let's do a Best Animated Feature.
Oh no, Best Original Screenplay. Done.
Okay. All right.
Okay, let's start with that.
Actually, it doesn't even really matter the numbers.
I haven't seen most of
I
these.
kind of want to do. Yeah. All right. So let's start with Best Picture. Yeah, I haven't seen most of them. I've seen half.
This is gonna be pretty twisted.
I saw. I don't know. I could see 12 Years a Slave winning. I didn't see that movie, but
Yeah, that I didn't see that either. That might win. American Hustle, I don't think will win. Gravity, I don't think will win.
Oh yeah, Gravity was great, and American Hustle
It was great, but Dallas Buyers Club is supposed to be very good.
they're such snobs. That's just the thing. It's like
I think 12 Years a
rarely-
Slave will probably win. Just looking at this list.
Yeah, I need to check out her.
Her, I heard, was very good.
Oh yeah, what was it? It's like the Harvey Weinstein picture that they wanted to get nominated. I think it's like Osage County or something with
August
Julia
Osage
Roberts.
County, yeah. It's based on a play that was done at Steppenwolf Theater in Chicago. It's a very famous play now.
Best director, and it's another one. Like I've not heard of any of these guys except.
Yeah, maybe we should
heard of
abandon
them.
this game because I've only seen like 2 of these movies.
It'll be funny though. Just we can just guess. But we can maybe not do best director since we don't know shit. But best actor, what about that? I want it to be Leonardo DiCaprio, son, but Matthew McConaughey
I want him
won
to
the Golden
win
Globe.
because of the past, but I don't think he will.
What movie won in the Golden Globes?
He did
No, Matthew McConaughey won for best actor.
for the Golden Globes.
Yeah, I'll look it up.
No, it was Leo.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yep, yeah, but Matthew McConaughey won for maybe he was put under best supporting.
Or maybe SAG he won.
I think he won a Golden Globe, but wait, let's take a look.
Because they also just had the Screen Actors Guild. Yeah, he won. Yeah,
Movies,
he won
they do
Best Actor for
drama,
that.
12 Years a Slave. Okay. American Hustle won for musical or comedy. Matthew McConaughey won for actor in drama. Leo won for actor in musical or comedy. So they split it up. So that's what happened.
Interesting. I think it might go to Matthew McConaughey again. I haven't seen it, but I heard it was very good. And I haven't seen
everyone
it.
he has AIDS, right? That's like the thing.
I don't know. This is a bad game because I've only seen 2 of these Best Actor movies. If it was between Christian Bale and Leo, I'd maybe go with Leo. But it's not between them.
Yeah, I mean, Leonardo DiCaprio's owed one. I'm such a big fan of his.
Do you think Sandra's going to win Best Actress? I think she has a pretty good chance.
Yeah.
I need to see Blue Jasmine.
Yeah. I want to. Maybe I'll watch that tonight.
I'm going to rent it for my
I'll watch
flight.
it tomorrow, maybe.
Woody Allen. Best Supporting Actor. I hope Jonah Hill wins. I think he did a really good job in Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah. At the same time, though, I'm just like, it's like, I feel like my like feelings of him as a person. I actually have one of my friends hooked up with him when he was filming This Is the End.
Yeah, I think you told me that.
Yeah, and
Go on.
inside scoop. Oh, I wish I had like some music to go along with that. All right.
God, we're gonna
But I
destroy
wanna
his relationships.
Just keep it, yeah. So, well, I mean, they're not in a relationship anymore.
I'm saying whatever relationship
I
he's in
think
now.
she like my ex-girlfriend at the time, her like best friend like just approached him and they like hung out some and they met like Channing Tatum and stuff. And Jonah Hill, he's sorry, he's not gonna want to be interviewed on the show after I reveal that he's a liar. He like claims that he doesn't do drugs or smoke weed, but I heard
When did he claim that,
to
on
the
Howard Stern?
contrary. Yeah, on Howard Stern. You can maybe look it up. Like Seth Rogen is definitely honest
He's very
and open
candid about that.
it. And he said he doesn't, but according to my ex-girlfriend and my friend, that he did smoke weed. He did do shrooms when they met up, and apparently he had sex with one of her friends around in Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie's house in Louisiana.
Man, I'm wondering if we shouldn't be talking so much shit.
Well, here's the thing. How dare you break my friend's heart, Jonah Hill?
How dare you, Jonah Hill?
How dare you?
Yeah. How dare you, Jonah Hill? So, yeah, so going on to that, all right, so what are we on? Best Supporting Actress?
Best Supporting Actress, yeah.
I mean, I love Jennifer Lawrence, who
I've
doesn't.
only seen American Hustle out of this, and Jennifer Lawrence is beautiful, so I'm going to give it to her.
Yeah, all right. Best Original Screenplay. I need to see Blue Jasmine. I want to give it to it's
I
supposed to be amazing.
always want to give Woody Allen, even though he's a crazy man, the benefit of the doubt
Yeah,
there.
people are upset that he got that Lifetime Achievement Award. What's your thoughts on that?
Because of all of his sexual...
Yeah, the molestation and the crazy sex stuff.
Yeah, you know what? I think you have to put two things on two separate plates. He's a tremendous writer. He's a tremendous director. I think you have to give him credit for what he's done.
Right, just keeping it just a professional outside of his personal life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. Another thing, moving off of the Oscars, I kind of wanted to ask you about was your
Yeah.
thoughts on the late night TV war, since there's going to be a lot of changes coming up with Seth Meyers going to late night and Jimmy Fallon going to the Tonight Show. Have you seen those promos, by the way?
I think I may have seen one of them, and it's really crazy. I mean, you don't when you think of the people that have been the host of the Tonight Show, Jimmy Fallon just seems like so young, and it just seems pretty weird.
Right. Yeah, that's my thoughts. It's sort of like, it's like, for me, I'm not like a late night guy. Like, I don't think it's that funny. I've seen Jimmy Fallon do some funny stuff. Jimmy Kimmel do some funny bits. Conan. Not a big.
I think Jon Stewart has the best formula.
Jay Leno, yeah. Well, yeah, he's got his own whole new thing
different,
on it. Yeah, he's great too. Colbert's great, and it's like, you're getting this young guy taking over the show that. Wait, how old is Jay Leno? He's got to be in his 60s, right? Let's look that up.
Yeah, maybe early 70s. Did you watch the Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee with him?
Yeah, he's good on it. He's 60. Yeah,
he was
63.
very good.
63. So. No, he's pretty young. How old is Dave Letterman? So it's like these Jimmy Fallon. It's like, is he 86 or no 66? Jeez, wow, way off on that. So he's close. 66? Yeah, Dave. That's a lot. Yeah, I thought he'd be older. Dave Letterman 66.
Letterman?
Yeah, Leno 63. How old is Conan? He has got to be in his 50s.
Conan? No, I think he's probably in his 40s.
50.
All right.
So he's still hip and happening. I read an AMA by his personal assistant. It was pretty funny.
Who, Conan's?
Yeah, I actually saw him live once.
Conan's been a very big disappointment. When he had a show on NBC, I thought it was a lot funnier.
On NBC?
And the show now, I'm not very
really. I'll show you some stuff. I mean, there's some. He did a funny bit with his interns. That was funny. He's
I saw that.
But speaking of like when he was on NBC, there was something I wanted to bring up. He did a show in like 1997 where he had an audience completely full of kids, and he did a late night show.
That's very funny.
It was like such a clever idea, and he did like some like normal jokes, and then he did some like kids based jokes, and then he had like the head of CNN Money on. He had him interviewed, so it was basically, I think the first one was like an animals guy, which kids would like. And then he had the guy like CNN Money who runs it, and he basically, when he started interviewing him, he like pressed the button, and then the boring monster tried to enter the audience. So Conan's like, oh no, the boring monster's trying to get in. Andy, block the door. So Andy was like trying to hold the door in while the boring monster, there was like all these flashing lights going on. And Conan had just asked the guy like a serious question. Like he asked him, he said, do you think the trend's going to continue with the stock market going up? And it was kind of interesting too, because in that day it was like everyone was making money. But that's an aside. Yeah, that's something that you should check out just if you're a Conan fan. One more thing I wanted to talk about entertainment-wise. I got an inside scoop of the Girls Season 3 premiere. It's already aired at this point.
Well, before you go into that,
okay.
Can you explain how you got to the premiere? Because you never actually told me that story.
Yeah. I was going to go into that. So basically what happened is one of my best friends from home, his girlfriend was on Twitter, and she saw something on Rolling Stone saying, we're going to be giving out girls, if you live in these cities, which are satellite premiere cities, we're going to give you free tickets. Stay tuned to the Twitter and like tweet us at a certain time.
And just so we can be specific, it's HBO Girls. It's show.
HBO Girls, yeah. So just by happenstance, she got on Twitter and she saw the tweet from Rolling Stones, tweeted. She got 2 sets of tickets. She was going to bring her sister who lives in Atlanta and her husband, but for some reason they had to cancel. So I went with another girl who's our friend, and I got invited basically last minute. And we got to go in, and it was a sort of like red carpet in the movie theater. They had photo ops. I got some free popcorn, a free drink. They had some condiments you could put on it. No one famous was there. Once we sat down, they were basically playing the Girls soundtrack. We were sitting in. We got to watch the first 2 episodes, And what happened was we got to watch the red carpet event stream in New York where all the stars were. And the guy who plays, what's her name? Shoshana's ex-boyfriend, you know what I'm talking about? He's
he wasn't in the first
a
two episodes.
joint-looking guy. No, he was. He was in the first one.
He was?
He runs he's the manager of that coffee shop in Hanover.
Oh, no, I was talking about, I'm sorry, I was talking about Marty's
the guy,
ex-boyfriend.
he's out of there. Shoshana's like the girl who's still in college, which is interesting. They're 24. It's so crazy. They seem so much older.
It was a pretty raunchy scene coming in. She was having sex in that dorm room.
Right. And so they had him holding a sign saying "Girls Love Atlanta," so that was kind of our shout out. And then they had a raffle. They gave out a signed bag and some swag bags with some stuff. I actually wasn't entered in the raffle, so I didn't get to participate in that.
Swag bag? You mean a swag bag?
Swag bag, whatever. Yeah, swag.
It was a bag of really bad weed.
Yeah, swag. Hello. So it was, and you know what? I wouldn't call myself a girls fan. The second season was pretty disappointing to me. I kind of watched the first season because of the buzz, and I think there's definitely something that I have labeled the premiere effect, which is basically when you're at a premiere of something entertainment-wise that's new, and you get to be like the first one watching it, you're just going to generally enjoy it more than you would watching it as a common person. So I was in a movie theater watching it with around 50 people, and it was just interesting. I was laughing more. I was enjoying it. I'm looking forward to the next episode tonight. And after that, we got to go to this bar, which is a Mexican restaurant, and they had a setup for a buffet, free wine, champagne, beer. It was great. They had a mariachi band. It was a good time. And so there was a woman who was interviewing who worked at Comcast Xfinity. I think it's Comcast. Well, it's Xfinity, but Comcast, I think, owns Xfinity or whatever.
Yeah, that's their product.
She was interviewing people, and the friend who hooked it all up, my buddy's girlfriend, she apparently interviewed with this woman. And so they talked, and she asked, "Do you want to interview us?" So she interviewed I think they interviewed the girls first, and then they interviewed us. And I was just thinking to myself, "Oh wow, I could get on TV. This could be pretty exciting." Were
you sober for this?
Yeah, I was sober. I maybe had like one beer at that point. We were waiting in line to get the food and the alcohol, and they had nice beers. So she kind of goes, "Hey, we're here live at the girls' premiere, and we're talking to girls with some guys," and rolling her eyes. "What do you think of the premiere?" And then she gave the microphone to my friend, and he kind of, it was great. I started watching with my girlfriend, blah, 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 whatever. Then goes to me. I kind of just give a BS. "Yeah, I like it. It's just cool seeing what happens behind the scenes, what girls talk about." And she's like, "Yeah, that's very interesting. How has girls helped you with your dating life?" And it just came out of nowhere. And
it's a weird question
it was a weird question to ask. Totally threw me off guard. I definitely froze a little bit, and I basically said something along the lines of basically what I just said before. "Yeah, it's like behind the scenes of what girls are saying when guys aren't around, and Hannah, blah blah." Like I even said the word "stuff" in it, which is like so idiotic. But basically, like immediately after, she was being nice about it. And she just moved on. "Oh, thank you," and then she just said thank you, and then
she's like, "Don't worry, we'll cut all that out."
yeah. And we didn't sign anything though. I wonder what it's going to be on. Maybe it's going to be on those things where you go on demand, and they say, "We just in, Jack Reacher, Tom Cruise is an action star." So it's a pretty fun experience. I'm enjoying it. I'm looking forward to the next episode. I asked you what you thought. You said you weren't feeling it, right?
Yeah, I can go into it more. So the first season I liked a lot. I thought it was a good mix of comedy and drama. I thought it was well written. It was identifiable in some ways. I mean, they're girls obviously, but they're supposed to be these Jewish girls from New York, and I understand that. And the second season got really silly and really contrived, and it was hard to watch. And then this first two episodes were better. They were definitely better, but they weren't as good as the first season. I don't think it was as funny.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought the whole thing with what's her name, Jessa, who's the British one. It's supposed to, there's not really. Other than that, is there a show that's targeted for us? That's supposed to be a millennial show.
I mean, there's a lot of comedies like that. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I mean, that's our demographic.
They're not our age, though. I'm talking like our age.
I see what you mean.
Maybe Gossip Girl is kind of our age.
It's weird to think that they're supposed to be literally our age.
Yeah, she goes. I'm 24. I don't think I can rent a car. It's like, really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, what?
Yeah, I think she's like 29 or 28. So
very interesting. So hopefully it gets better.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm curious to see what I think about this next episode, and we can talk about it next time. So that's all I got for entertainment. How about you?
There was something else. Oh yeah, a couple things I wanted to point out. First off, kudos to SNL, first black female comic / cast member since 07.
Did you watch it last night's episode? I watched one or two sketches.
Who was
Drake?
the host?
Drake's the host and musical guest. He actually, as far as I can tell, I'm a Drake fan, and I'm definitely biased towards him. Yeah, they did do a joke about that. They did, the second sketch or his monologue was about how he's Jewish and he's black, so just kind of mixing that up at his bar mitzvah.
Is his mom Jewish? What was it again? I think his mom's white and Jewish.
Yeah, I think his mom's white and Jewish.
And Canadian.
His dad's from Tennessee. And,
so that's one thing. And the other thing I wanted to talk about was that Louis C.K. and Zach Galifianakis are teaming up to do a TV show.
Yeah, that's exciting. I like both of them.
Very
Louis
exciting.
I don't think is going to be part
Louis
of it.
Louis C.K. is writing and directing, I think, and Zach Galifianakis is the star.
Yeah, Louis C.K. Is definitely tight with FX. They're his boys. Well, I think he's going to be on FXX now, right? Are they moving that?
Yeah.
I figure that makes sense, like what they're trying to do.
That's a pretty confusing switch, but
yeah. I read out the new SNL girl. Going back to that, she is going to.
What's her name again?
She was in a Sashir or something.
Is she funny?
She was in a couple. I mean, I saw she was in one episode, or in the one sketch I did see. She had a pretty basic, anyone could do it. Like, she wasn't the star of the sketch. It was sort of just an easy bit. Like, she was just played like the wife of someone.
What do you think about this? Sorry, I have the Seattle Seahawks game on in the background, and they're playing this trailer for Monuments Men. It's where they go into behind enemy lines to steal back the Nazi art. What do you think about that movie?
It looks like just Ocean's 11.
It totally does.
Just World War II, Ocean's 11. I no interest in seeing it. I hate. They're definitely doing the shift of old people stuff, and I just want more new.
What do you mean, old people stuff?
They're all old. Everyone in that cast except for Matt Damon and George Clooney. There's probably gonna be a lot of old jokes. I'm old and I'm supposed to be in the war, doing physical labor. John Goodman's old, Bill Murray. They've all gotten old, and it's just not for me.
Speaking of being self-referential, I read that 22 Jump Street is supposed to be very meta, and they keep saying how stupid it is that they're doing a sequel.
Huh.
Which I hate. I hate when movies do that. I hate when they break the fourth wall that way. It works sometimes.
I thought it worked.
And when the writing is clever enough.
Jump Street. I thought it worked well.
But they didn't really do that for 21 Jump Street. They did a little bit. They made fun of how they were making fun of the show, but I feel like it was more. It was more subtle. But who knows? We'll see what it turns out to be.
Right. Huh. So, anything else?
I have something I want to rant about if you don't mind.
Oh, no, you cannot do it. Oh, wow.
If you don't mind.
Oh, God.
It is time for a rant from Mark.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. Fuck you, I'm out.
Do you know what movie that's from?
Half Baked, of course.
Okay, just checking.
All right.
I need to watch that all the way. Okay, go ahead.
I am very tired of the expression, the greatest thing since sliced bread. A friend of mine got a gadget, and he said, this thing is great. It's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Like, we're putting bread on this pedestal to be the absolute pinnacle of human achievement. The cell phone I have has more computing power than the first space shuttle, But screw my phone. Let's pay attention to the loaf of Wonder Bread that's in my cupboard. It makes no sense. It's dated, and we need to move back on from this 1920s invention of cutting bread into equidistant slices. Let's start saying it's the greatest thing since the microprocessor, the greatest thing since, the Tesla. It's the greatest thing since another thing. I don't know what it is, but I know that there's something new and something better that we can focus on that is better than sliced bread.
Yeah, what's the deal with that? Why sliced bread? Is that just supposed to, I wonder where that even originated.
Well, I was thinking about that, and I did some research,
Okay.
and
What do you find
I
in your
think that was a
research?
very big change. People didn't... I think they couldn't compute that someone had figured this out, but it's so aged. Sliced bread? Let's get over it, people.
Yeah.
This is a challenge for you, America.
Yeah,
We can
let's
do better.
stop. Let's just stop using it, guys. We're better than that. Sliced bread, maybe the wheel. I don't know. There's way better than the wheel even.
That's older. That's older, man.
Yeah, so you just gotta let's just watch
We have
our
to-
words. Just make things a little bit.
We
just
have
better.
left the Industrial Revolution. We can keep going forward.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all I have to say about that.
A rant from Mark Rubenstein. Thank you, Mark,
Thank
for
you.
that. Thank you for that.
Well, I think it'd be fun if we did some facts. Tomorrow is Martin Luther King Day, and let's do a little quiz, shall we?
All right. Yeah. Should we? Do we have music for that? Let me look it up. I'm not sure. Oh.
Put your books away. It's time for a pop quiz.
I'm not really.
Okay.
I don't know why the kids like the quiz, but
You know what? They're
apparently they do.
excited because Martin Luther King is a man. So Harrison and I have each chosen 5 questions. We do not know what the other person is going to ask, but we are going to see who can get more questions right. It's possible that some of our questions are easier than others, but what the hell? Let's start this pop quiz.
All right. You want to start off?
Yeah, I will start off. True or false? Martin Luther King has the I Have a Dream speech copyrighted.
Martin Luther has it copyrighted himself. Is this true or false?
Take it as you will.
I'm gonna say false.
It's actually true,
No!
but sort of. But sort of.
Oh, but sort of.
Let me explain why.
Okay, go ahead.
So, if the performance of the speech constituted general publication, it would have entered the public domain due to King's failure to register the speech with the Registrar of Copyrights. Now, if the performance only constituted limited publication, however, King retained common law copyright. Now, this led to a lawsuit, the estate of Martin Luther King versus CBS. This was in 1999. And this established that King's estate does hold copyright over the speech and had standing to sue. So the parties settled. And under the
he sued.
His estate
State
sued.
sued. Okay.
He was already dead at this point. But under the applicable copyright laws, the speech will remain under copyright in the United States until 70 years after his death
Right.
in 2038.
Okay. Well, I can't wait to sample it.
Yeah,
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
interesting.
So, here's my true or false.
Cool.
King knew his life was going to be cut short.
True.
Yes, that is true. He stated in many speeches that his life was probably going to end soon, especially the speech he gave on April 3rd, 1968.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's like, I think where
That
did
was
he
a bit
get
of a
shot? Like
gimme.
Alabama? Yeah, that was definitely an easy one. I wanted to start easy, unlike you who had that
Sorry.
super obscure.
I just want
I'm
to
just
punch you right in
kidding.
the nuts.
Yeah, so so basically he's responsible for some of the biggest civil rights changes, and he wants to move into Alabama. So that's probably the worst place you want to live, right? I don't know. Where did he get shot? It might have been Atlanta. Yeah, I think it was Atlanta.
I think it was Atlanta, too. I actually have his Wikipedia page up.
Oh wow! So you were using that. You used that, and that's how you got that last question right, isn't it?
What?
You used the Wikipedia page. You consulted that. I thought we agreed before I know Wikipedia.
Did we say that?
Did we?
No, we definitely didn't. It was in Memphis, Tennessee.
Oh, you got shot in Tennessee. Yeah, same thing.
Okay. Very good. The score is 1-0.
Okay, I'm losing.
This is a multiple choice question.
Go ahead.
Which of these songs was not written in honor of Martin Luther King? Pride in the Name of Love by U2, Happy Birthday by Stevie Wonder, One Vision by Queen, or Out in the Street by Bruce Springsteen?
Wow. Read those first two again.
Pride in the Name of Love by U2, Happy Birthday by Steve Wonder, One Vision by Queen, or Out in the Street by Bruce Springsteen?
I'm gonna go with U2.
Incorrect. It's actually D, Out in the Street by Bruce Springsteen.
Huh. That was a good question.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was between those two. One Vision is pretty obvious. Lionel Richie,
There was a different Bruce Springsteen song. I forget what it was. That was written for Martin Luther King, but that is the answer. Out in the Street was not written about Martin Luther King.
Okay. What was the first civil rights action King was involved in? A. March on Washington. B. I Have a Dream speech. C. Montgomery bus boycott. D. Leading a march against Washington.
D. Leading a march against Washington.
The correct answer is C. Montgomery bus boycott.
Really?
I think, one of his big things is, I forget, something from a prison. Martin
Well, I
Luther.
thought that he was sort of a well-known figure at that point. That's why they sort of used him to back that up.
Letter from a Birmingham jail, that's what it is.
Did you know that Rosa Parks was only 15 when that whole thing went down?
No, I always envisioned her as an old woman.
Yeah, same.
So that's,
At least I think it was 15. Let me double check that because that
yeah.
seems a little crazy. I thought I
Did
saw
you know
that.
she was 3 years old when she stood up to the bus?
She literally couldn't move. That's why.
Yeah.
Let's see. She was born in 1913. Oh, there's no way this is true. Never mind. I could totally be full of shit. Montgomery, her refusal to move happened in. Oh, I'm totally wrong. Where did I read this? 1955. She was 42. I'm so wrong. Where did I read this thing about being 15?
Wait, what was her age?
She was 42. I'm so full of shit.
Yeah.
I must have read something else.
We
Okay,
would
sorry.
have known if she was 15.
Yeah, I feel like that would have been well known.
Oh, wow. Wait, do you hear that?
What?
I just got some feedback for a second.
Yeah, I thought I saw that.
The
I heard that.
phone.
Okay, next question. Are you ready?
Yes, I am ready.
What was Martin Luther King's favorite food? Was it A, turkey pot pie, B, burger and tater tots, C,
Oh my God.
pecan pie, or D, fried chicken?
Am I a racist if I pick D? No, I heard. I think A. I'm going with A.
The correct answer was C, pecan pie. He loved himself some pecan pie.
You say pecan or pecan?
I say pecan.
Okay.
I don't know if that might be due to my inexperience with pie. What's your favorite kind of pie?
That's a good question. I actually like pecan pie. I like apple pie with a white ice cream.
The crumble on top. Oh yeah. I love pumpkin
Sorry.
pie, but I think more universally I like apple pie.
Yeah, I'm
There's
not
this
a pumpkin
bar,
guy.
this place I used to go to, used to meaning I don't go there since I started dieting. It's called Pie Bar, and it's these sisters that one person's a mixologist and the other one's a very good baker, and they serve pie till like 2 a.m. and they have this apple pie a la mode. Ooh, delicious. Okay, the current score is 1-0.
All right, so I guess I should find a multiple choice question since
I have one more A-B question and then one more A-B-C-D.
Okay.
So,
all right, what does core mean? CORE mean? And how does this relate to Martin Luther King though?
is
Did
it an
he start
acronym?
this? Let's read this. Core Martin Luther King. Let's find out what that is first. We like to teach the fans as we teach ourselves.
I feel like I'm calling bullshit on this. I don't even know what you're talking about.
All right. Pioneered by the use of the nonviolent direction of American civil rights struggle, along with his parent organization, blah, blah, blah. Advice and support to Martin Luther King during the Montgomery boycott. King worked with CORE throughout the late 1950s and the mid-1960s when CORE abandoned its dedication to nonviolence, adopted black separatist policies. Wow.
I'm sorry. Is it C-O-R-E?
Yeah, CORE.
Is it an acronym?
Yeah, it's an acronym. I'm going to ask you what it stands for.
Oh, is it multiple choice?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Okay. I thought I was about to pull it out of my ass.
Yeah. Okay. Core of Racial Equality, Congress of Racial Equality, Center of Rehabilitation Experts, or D, Control of Racial Equality.
B.
Congress?
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding. You got it.
The third one made no sense. What was the third one again?
Center of Rehabilitation Experts. Yeah, what does that even mean?
That's strange.
Control.
Okay, very good. So the score is 2-0, Harrison. You have to get these next two right. And you might. Korean Alphabet Day is celebrated by both North and South Korea on two separate days. Which country's Korean Alphabet Day falls on Martin Luther King's birthday? North Korea or South Korea?
Wait.
You want me to repeat it?
Yeah. Okay. North or South Korea? Which Korea's what is on Martin Luther King's birthday?
Korean Alphabet Day is celebrated by both countries, one of
What
which
is
falls
that?
on Martin Luther King's birthday. The other one's in like October or something.
You know what? I'm gonna say North Korea.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, South Korea would be a little bit more respectful. They wouldn't have Alphabet Day on
his birthday.
Yeah.
Okay, the score's 2-1.
Okay. Here we go. Martin Luther King wrote all of his own speeches. True or false?
False.
True.
Oh, fuck, it's true.
True.
God damn it. Okay,
True.
yeah, what was I thinking?
Yeah, I thought maybe you'd get some help or something.
Yeah, but I felt like I was reading about how great of a speechwriter he was. Okay, so you have one left, right?
Yes, one more.
Okay, so let's make this one worth 2 points so you have a
2
chance
points.
to win.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Which of these is one of Martin Luther King's favorite hobbies? Writing poetry, fishing,
Getting with chicks.
hanging out, just
Hanging
chilling
out. Wait. Writing poetry. What was the first one?
Writing poetry was A, B is fishing, C is hanging out, or D is shuffleboard.
B, fishing.
Ding,
Yes.
ding, ding.
2
Okay.
points. So this is for 2 points. This is for all the marbles.
It's 3-2. This is for the win. Okay.
So wait, how many true false did you do? You did 2. I should find a multiple choice.
I had 2 true false, 3 multiple choice.
Okay. Here we go. Martin Luther King told people, A, fight back only if needed. B, white people would be punished by God. Hey, what's so funny about that? You missed that part. You missed that part of the "I Have a Dream" speech where he said white people
it just
would be
seems very
punished by
bullshit.
God. He's like, P.S. White people, if you do not give black people rights, you'll be punished by God.
Okay. Let's see.
C, that racial equality was all about economics. Or
Okay.
D, none of the above.
A, what was A again?
Fight back only if needed.
No way. He was very anti-violence. B was, what was it about? God.
White people would be punished by God.
No way, that's it. What was C?
That racial equality was all about economics.
It's a very pessimistic view. But maybe it's not that pessimistic. I'm gonna go with none of the above.
Ding, 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 ding. Mark
Oh!
wins Martin Luther King Jr. trivia game.
All right,
Well
week 1.
done. Week 1, all right. So we'll mark that down. Yeah, we'll keep it coming. We got more quizzes. Hopefully you played along and you won.
Yeah.
All right.
good.
Well, we had some fun. How long has
We had
it
a lot
been?
of fun. We've been talking for about an hour and a half.
Oh yeah,
I
it
think-
looks like an hour and 40 about. So yeah,
Yeah,
that was
we did
fun,
pretty well.
a good time. Had some laughs. You know, maybe we'll go into more of our personal lives. We kind of kept it about the media world today, but
Kept it about America.
yeah, we kept it about America, and that's what's fun. And I just wanted to say something about this podcast. Through these days, there have been a lot of podcasts that have come out But we're gonna stick to this podcast. We're gonna make it
Here,
a damn
here,
good
hard.
podcast. We will work every day to bring you the news, entertainment, quizzes, fashion, racism. We will eradicate racism. We will make gay marriage legal. We will correct the wrongs of the world. And if my name is not Harrison Gross and his name is not Mark Rumacine, we will do whatever it takes. Because that is what we are about.
Very nice. Wow, I did not see that coming. You just really...
Yes. And there's one more thing before we go. I actually have a surprise for you, Mark. I think I referenced that at the beginning of the show.
Oh, I thought that was the surprise. Okay, what's the real surprise?
Yeah, the real surprise is, I have a propensity of hiring people to help us with the show.
I've heard.
I'm thousands of dollars in debt right now, not even including law school.
Including money that you paid me to
Right,
join
and
the
yeah,
podcast.
exactly, yeah. I am paying Mark. So I'm your boss, right? Doesn't that mean I'm your boss? So I can fire you. Okay, we're going with that. So...
excuse me, boss.
Oh, yes, please.
Can I get a promotion so we can be on the same level?
Granted.
Yes.
Granted it, yes.
Okay.
You earned it after that rant on sliced bread.
Thank you.
So,
I'm not calling you boss anymore.
All right, well, can't win them all. Well, we'll talk about that in the next meeting. So I hired another group sort of as an expression of just how I feel about you, how I hopefully believe you feel about me. And, guys, why don't you just come in? The door's kind of squeaky, so I'm going to... Guys, all right. They're coming in right now. Guys, go. See that piano over there? Go over there, please. Guys. All right. They're walking right now.
I hear them.
You hear them walking?
Yeah.
Guys, all right. You guys tuned up, right? Yeah, they said yes. They shake their heads yes. So we got these three guys. Their names are Glenn Murphy, Osin O'Callahan, and Ronan Schollard. And I hired them to play you this song. Go ahead, guys. You guys were flat in the rehearsal, though. I really hope you guys tuned before? All right. Cool. Go ahead.
So no one told you life was gonna be this way. Your job's a joke, you broke. Your love life's DOA. Started year one and stuck in second gear. But it hasn't been your day, your week, your month, or even your year.
Shut him off.
No, let him go. I'll be there for you, Mark. No, do not tell. They're not signed. Guys, I paid you good money for this.
No, I'm canceling that check.
You don't have the authority, Mark.
I thought we were equals.
I hope you'll be there for me too, Mark. You have a problem with that message?
I only have any sort of message that will propel the show Friends to a higher echelon than Seinfeld. That is my only worry.
You're worried about that? Mark, your hair's not looking great. Yeah, fix it. I can see you on Skype right now.
But she didn't tell you when the world has brought you down to your knees. That I'll be there for you when the rain starts to pour. I'll be there for you like I've been there before. I'll be there for you.
All right, wrap it up, guys.
Be there for me too.
Wow.
Good harmonies, nice.
Very good
Nailing
harmony.
it.
Okay, that's good. Oh. Wow, the acoustics in your apartment are very good.
We in pre-production we spent a couple hours working on that.
Very good.
And guys, you don't really appreciate it, right? When Mark was yelling "stop" in the middle of the performance.
I'm sorry. You know what? I'm a very self-centered person.
Well, no, it's the thought that counts, I guess.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that. The fact that you'll be there for me,
Yeah.
feels really great, even though we are on opposite sides of the country.
It's in spirit. That's what's important.
It's in spirit. Well, we've accomplished a lot. We've cried. We've laughed. We've learned. Until next time, Harrison.
Yes.
I'll see you next week.
I'll see you there too. I'll be there for you, Mark. I'll be there.
Oh.
See you next week.
And you'll be there for me next week.
We got more fun and games coming to you next week. We hope you enjoyed. We'll go out with the theme song.
You have just listened to The Mark and Harry Show.
I love the Mark and Harry Show.
You have just listened to The Mark and Harry Show.